At Takurua Vets, we see so many pet emergencies, and one of the most common things that people say to us is, I wasn't sure if this was actually urgent enough to call. So today, I want to give you some triage tips that you can use at home to determine whether your pet has an emergency or whether it is something that can wait. So, firstly, you want to determine whether your pet's life is at risk right now. And it's almost always an emergency if you see any of the following signs. So any trouble breathing, any collapsed, unconscious animal, any seizures, any bloating in the abdomen, particularly in dogs, any trauma such as being hit by a car or being attacked by a dog or falling from a height, any poisons suspected or known, any inability to urinate, particularly in male dogs and cats, and then any severe pain, crying, distress that's come out of the blue. Don't wait, just call us. If it's none of those things, then you can go by these 3 behavioural signs to determine whether your pet needs to be seen urgently or not. You want to look at their comfort levels, their appetite, and their energy levels. So are they refusing food and water? Do they seem painful? Are they hiding away? Are they hunched? Are they limping or shivering or vocalizing? Are they responding to you like they usually do, or are they lethargic and sleeping? If the answer is yes to any of those things, they probably do want to be seen urgently, but the timing of it does matter, because something like a mild limp or an ear infection that's been brewing for a few days can probably wait for an appointment, but anything that is a sudden onset thing that's progressing really quickly, and if they seem really out of sorts and distressed, you probably want to get them seen quite urgently rather than to wait. The rule of thumb for me is if I would take a child to the emergency room with these symptoms, my pet probably deserves the same urgent care. And last but not least, just trust your instincts. You know your pet way better than anybody else, and we would never think you're wasting our time if you're calling us. If you're worried about your pet, we'd much rather talk to you too soon than to see your pet too late.